Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We're just going to wait a couple minutes, but we will start at 4 and give an overview of the presentation. But thank you for logging in. Rachel, do you want to put the screen up, the main slide?
Sure. I don't think everyone heard what your introduction. I want to say it again.
I said, thank you all for joining us today. We're going to wait just a couple minutes to make sure we have everybody logged in. People are still entering through our online live system. So we'll give them a couple minutes to join us, and then we'll begin shortly. All right, I think everyone is now joined our meeting. So I'm going to do a quick overview of the virtual workshop today. My name is Sarah, and I am part of the outreach group for the Pure Water Oceanside and Recycled Water expansion. I'm going to go over and introduce everybody who you can see today. When I introduce them, if you guys just want to raise your hand so they know which one is you, because I think everyone's all mixed up in the order, that would be great. So we have Rebecca Cole, who some of you might have talked to on the phone or seen walking around. She is also part of our outreach group. And we have Rachel Coolis, who is someone else you might have talked to on the phone or seen walking around. We are the outreach trio, so you will be talking to us throughout the project. We have Lindsay Leahy, who is the water utilities engineer. And then we have Adam Hoke, who is the project manager for our project. So thank you so much. We have Lindsay and Adam here to help with our engineering side, and we're going to go over our virtual open house. Just a little housekeeping. On the right-hand side of your screen, you will see a little chat function. If you want to click on that, you can ask questions throughout the presentation. We will be answering questions at the very end, and we will make sure to answer everyone's questions. So feel free to go ahead and type it as you go through, and at the end, we can go ahead and answer those. Okay, so we are going to start our virtual open house workshop. So today's topics, we are going to go over Oceanside's current water supply sources, the difference between drinking water and recycled water, and then go over some construction updates. Currently, the city of Oceanside gets 89% of our water from imported sources from hundreds of miles away. So that could be from the Sacramento Bay Delta or the Colorado River. In Oceanside, we are very fortunate to have an underground aquifer, which we refer to as groundwater, where we get about 10% of our current water supply. And as part of our sustainability and local supply efforts, we do have recycled water that is used for irrigation, and that accounts for about 1% of our current water supply. So what is imported water? Like I said, that comes from hundreds of miles away. The city of Oceanside purchases imported water from the region's wholesaler, the San Diego County Water Authority. And the cost of that is largely out of the city's control. So we do purchase that. It is set by another agency. It does take a lot of energy, as you can imagine, to transport that water from Northern California or the Colorado River. It is also very susceptible to natural disasters like drought and earthquakes. And we are also pulling water away from some environmentally sensitive ecosystems. You might have heard about the Delta smelt up in the Bay Area. So this is a little overview of what a aquifer looks like in Oceanside. Ours is called the Mission Basin. It is a naturally occurring geological formation, basically an underground lake. Water naturally seeps in there, and we currently pump it out to be treated at our Mission Basin groundwater purification facility, and then distribute that water to our residents. Over the years, it has depleted and not grown to the level that we would like due to drought and other environmental reasons. So we are developing sources to help expand our groundwater resources. And lastly, like I said, we do recycle about 1% of our water. That is done at our San Luis Rey water reclamation plant. That is where we treat the majority of our wastewater in Oceanside. That water is treated, and then the majority of it is sent out into the ocean. About 1% is further treated to be used for irrigation or recycled water. You may see that around in purple pipes versus the regular normal system. So what are we doing to address some of these issues that I just talked about? In 2009, City Council set a goal of a 50% local water supply by 2030. So the City of Oceanside has been extensively planning to try and reach that goal. One of our larger projects to do that is through a new water source called Pure Water Oceanside. So this will diversify our water supply, reduce our reliance on imported water, improve our groundwater resources, and create a local water source for the city. So just to give you a little bit of an overview of how that will work, as you can see, the Mission Basin aquifer in the bottom, we will be continuing to pump that water out from our Mission to our Mission Basin groundwater purification facility, where it is treated and sent to customers. Customers will utilize that water, and it will come to our San Luis Rey water reclamation facility. It is then treated, like I said, to the standards of recycled water for irrigation, which you can see here through this purple pipe that gets sent out to the farmland, golf courses, different activities. That recycled water will then be sent to our currently in construction Pure Water Oceanside facility, where it will be further treated through 3 additional steps before it is injected back into our Mission Basin aquifer, and will remain in there for about 3 months before we will extract it again through the Mission Basin Groundwater Purification Facility. I'm sorry, these are a lot of large names, where we will send it out. So we're basically creating a water cycle right here in Oceanside. And Rachel's going to show a little video of the injection wells pumping into the basin so you can kind of get an idea of what that will look like. So this system will allow us to improve our water in our groundwater resource. So we'll be able to reduce some of the issues that we have, including the reduction of water and the salinity that we're finding in that water currently. So I am going to start talking about our construction timeline. Oh, no, I'm not. I'm sorry. So we're going to look at our water supply diversity. So just like your normal personal finances, it's important to diversify our water resources. As you can see on the left-hand side, that is a current pie chart of our current water diversification. And we are heavily reliant on one source of water, which is imported water. Both Pure Water Oceanside and our recycled water expansion projects are 2 phases. After the first phase, you can see we dropped that reliance on imported water to 67. And after phase 2, which is right before 2030, we will have our reduction, our imported water reliance to 44%. So we're very excited about these 2 projects and the ability to increase our local supply in Oceanside. So recycled water has a lot of benefits. Again, this is not water that is used for drinking. This is water that is used for irrigation. So there is a good cost savings for large landscapers that are using this water. It helps us, keep our local drinking water supply for drinking water versus using it for irrigation. It's state regulated and a very high quality source. It helps us reduce our reliance on imported water and reduces our ocean discharge. And here's some benefits for pure water Oceanside. Pure water also reduces our reliance on imported water and will improve our local water supply for the city by about 30%. It is financially competitive to both imported and desal water rates. It'll improve our groundwater, enhance our resiliency against upcoming droughts or climate change, and create a local water supply that will create about 3 to 5 million gallons of water per day for Oceanside. So combined, these two projects will allow the city to provide a 50% local water supply by 2030. So everyone on the call has probably received either a flyer at their house or in the mail. And so this is the image that you saw prior. We did this as a way to add to the flyer, but we do have an online map, which is much more integrated. And Rachel's going to show us what that looks like. So you can go to our website at purewateroceanside.org, and you can click on this map and view the Google map that's online. As you can see here on the screen, this is the total project. So both of these projects are very intensive and large. And you can kind of click and zoom around through the project to find different avenues. On the top left-hand side where it says Pure Water Oceanside, you can click on the search button and type in your physical address, and it will show exactly where your address is comparative to the project. So you're able to look at that. You can also scroll down to the construction elements and click on any of those, and it will take you directly to where that element is. So it does help you kind of understand and navigate through the project. I know that we have received a lot of questions regarding the bike path, so I just wanted to make sure that we clarified that on this call. There is an opening on the bike path over on Paula, Douglas, that Rachel is zooming in right now. You can see that on the green line right there. So even though there is construction, you are able to access and exit the bike path. So we hope that you all continue to use it. And thank you for working with us during the construction. So what I'm going to go look at now is the injection wells that are going to be occurring over on Cocoa Palms. Rachel, you want to pull up did it go away?
Did you want to still show the map?
Yeah, if you can show the map with the Cocoa Palms injection wells, that would be great. So if you can see the Cocoa Palms right there, we're going to zoom in a little bit so you guys can see that. Most of the construction that is occurring on Cocoa Palms will be where residential homes are on the backside. So it will not be right in front of anyone's driveway. There is nothing occurring right in front of someone's home in terms of the drilling of the wells on Cocoa Palms. So I just wanted to make sure that was clear. As you can see, Cherry Stone is up at the top over there, and then it drops down through Cocoa Palms after. And we will be discussing what those injection wells look like very quickly and what that construction will be, but I just wanted to make sure we were clear on that. So now we can jump back to the slideshow. I'm sorry, Rachel.
Okay.
Okay, so each of the injection wells will be combined with a monitoring well. That whole section will be encompassed or surrounded by 16-inch or 16 feet, I'm sorry, not inches, 16 feet high sound walls, and that we will be complying with all of the city noise ordinances. All of the construction will be handled within those sound walls. There will be some lighting that will be occurring during that, as this construction will be 24/7 for the duration of that each injection well. Each injection well will be needing to be drilled for 3 weeks. That is to ensure that we can make sure the well is intact. If we were to stop drilling, the well would actually collapse onto itself. So most of the work will be done underground. It is a pipeline and a underneath injection well, so you will not see anything above ground after the construction is over, besides a couple little electrical cabinets on the side of the road that you already see in terms of SDG&E or other types of utilities. There will be no odor associated with this project or felt during construction. And then just so you can stay up to date, you know, all of our outreach team, as well as the engineers on this project, want to work closely with the community to make sure that you guys know what's going on. And if there's any issues, we are there to answer them. We do have some e-newsletters that get sent out about every other month that give construction updates. You can register for that on purewateroceanside.org. We also have a dedicated construction page that you can see over on the right-hand side of the screen. It's very small, but the big orange button that's on the purewateroceanside.org page will take you directly to the construction site. We are available via email at any time at purewateroceanside@oceansideca.org. And you can also give us a call. The phone number is 760-435-4570. That goes directly to a voicemail. However, Rachel, myself, and Rebecca all get that right away. So if you called it, you know you get a very quick response, but we will respond to you within 1 business day at the very latest, hopefully sooner than that. And so at this time, we're going to take any questions that you might have. We are all here to help you and make sure you're understanding what's going on with our project.
So, Sarah, we do have our first call, or our first question. And so the question is, what are timelines into phase 1 and then into phase 2?
So phase 1 is about 2022, and then phase 2 would be 2030 for the diversification. Rebecca, are you muted?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So thanks for answering that one question. I think that is all we have. Oh, okay. There's another one coming in. Thank you. On a scale of 1 to 10, what kind of sound level can we expect at the Cocoa Palm site? Great question. Adam, do you want to answer that?
Sure. So it should be akin to normal daytime noise. So city noise ordinances differentiate between nighttime work and daytime work. And so a typical conversation with some background noise is probably a little bit less than what we'll hear during construction. But again, the sound walls will mitigate that noise. They're 16 feet high, and so it's a physical barrier between the actual construction, and it pushes the sound waves up into the atmosphere rather than out into the surrounding communities.
I think that answered that one. And how can residents get updates as construction progresses? Oh, go ahead, Sarah.
I was going to say that's a great question, and you can log in through that e-newsletter that I sent out. We also, on that Google graph map, we are going to be adding updates on construction to that section. So we'll talk about construction hours, expected start dates and end dates in that section, so you can jump on and see where we're at. We just created that. So we're working on improving that, and that's something that we're going to start working on this week. So you will be able to see the different parts of the construction and where we currently are.
And if there's anything that's extra timely that can't wait for a mailed notice, or even some other social media post, we'll get out there with flyers. Sarah and I were out there this week making sure, reminding everybody about this virtual open house. So there's always ways that we're going to be communicating with everybody. Okay, so we have a follow-up. How severe will the ground vibrations be during drilling? Adam, can you answer that one?
Yeah, you really shouldn't notice any ground vibrations. As part of the setup for this construction phase, we did 3 borings in the area, and there was no noticeable ground vibration. We're using very similar methods to what we did last time. And just kind of as a frame of reference, we're going to be drilling from around 1 to 2 feet an hour. So it's a pretty slow drilling process to get down into the aquifer.
So I did see a question on there regarding how close the injection wells on Cocoa Palms were to the manufactured homes. And there is that section on 2 different manufactured home areas that do kind of the backs of the mobile homes come up right to Cocoa Palms. So the people that are on those streets, you will be able to walk outside and into your back of your home and see the construction. So it is close. It is on that street right behind it, but it won't be in front of your front door or something like that. It will be behind the gates on both sides, or the walls.
And the next question is the irrigation water, will that also be available for city residents, or is this for farmers or ag only?
So right now we are working with larger users of water, so golf courses, medians, the farm community, large HOAs, but not to say that in the future that wouldn't be something that we would do. I think with the residential, we're still working on some state regulations and things like that to be able to bring that. It would also be pretty costly. So right now we're looking at the larger users, and then we'll see how that goes in the future.
And of course, Rancho San Luis Rey Mobile Home Park homeowners, and they're along Cocoa Palms, they're very concerned about the impact of this project near their homes. So perhaps we should talk about the noise. I'm not sure if the slide about the sound walls and the noise being inside the sound walls and underground was heard, but maybe we can just reiterate that for all of our Cocoa Palm neighbors.
Of course, yeah. So we are mitigating the construction of these wells with those 16-foot sound walls. All of the construction will be happening inside those walls. It will not be outside of the walls. And then when we do install pipelines on that section, it will be pretty quickly through that area. It's not a very long, large street. So if you have seen some of the construction in an intersection, it's a little different when we're in an isolated area. The 16-foot sound walls, like Adam said, will really help mitigate sound throughout the day. We will be following the noise ordinance for the day work and the night work, so it will be a little bit quieter at night. The lights, again, will be mitigated through those walls. So we are hoping to help mitigate any potential issues that you might have.
And another question came in about the allowed hours for drilling. And Sarah, you said that those drilling, the drilling for each of the 3 weeks for the different injection wells, those are going to be 24/7.
Correct. We are going to be drilling for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for the 3 weeks for each of those wells.
And is it possible to have the sound walls up during pipeline construction?
So pipeline construction is a little bit different. We do move pretty quickly because we are installing a large pipe and we need a large section. The pipeline construction will not be 24 hours a day. That will be during normal construction hours, which is 7:30 to 4, Monday through Friday. You will see construction as the project as a whole at some points during Saturday, and as we're talking here for the injection wells on the weekend when is needed, but normally we are following that construction timeline.
And everyone who lives in the mobile home park community should know that Sarah and I have contacted all the offices, all the management offices. They have our direct lines, so please use them, and the project information line. If there's any noise or if there's any unforeseen activity that's going on that you want to call, because we will troubleshoot it immediately, even if it's 24/7. That's our job. So one of the residents, his home is a manufactured home and it sits on pylons. So will the vibrations affect the leveling of that home at all?
Well, the answer is unlikely. Again, vibration really isn't a major factor in the type of construction that we're doing. I think you'll probably feel vibration if you're on the road next to a large piece of construction equipment that's going by. But we're drilling down at 1 to 2 feet an hour. We've talked to the drilling contractor about this, and they're very aware that we're in a residential neighborhood. And so we've we've had discussions with them about modifying their drilling practices. If we do come into any event where you are feeling vibrations. But again, that's not something that we anticipate, but it's something that, we're certainly committed to a continuing dialogue if we are seeing some of these unforeseen events.
And Adam, will Cocoa Palms be closed to traffic during the construction period for the injection well, or even the pipeline for that matter?
Yeah, we're currently discussing that with the contractors and the traffic department at the city. The contractors have asked for Cocoa Palms to be closed, but there are a lot of concerns with traffic and with potential closures, so we're vetting all those very carefully, and we just haven't come to resolution on that yet.
But that's something we can definitely communicate with those residents when that's decided.
And again, if you want to look at the Google map, once that's decided, we will update that on there as well.
To follow up on that though, Adam, I think there's 7 homes that are on Cocoa Palms Drive that do have direct access to their homes from Cocoa Palms Drive. So they will continue to have access via Cocoa Palms Drive, those 7 homes at least, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, I guess where we've been requested to close Cocoa Palms is south of Cherrystone, and then I think north of the driveway that's the first or second one to the north from El Camino Real on Cocoa Palms. So access to any driveways along Cocoa Palms will not be impeded.
And I know Lindsay's having a little bit of sound issues. So she typed us in the chat and she made a great point. If we are able to close Cocoa Palms during construction, it will actually speed up the drilling for both injection wells. Us being able to do that, we'll be able to drill them simultaneously instead of having to do one section for 3 weeks and then another for an additional 3 weeks down the line. So we are hoping to mitigate the impact to our residents as much as possible.
Hey, we had someone who said, thank you for answering all of our questions. It's always nice to hear. That's why we're here. So, is there any chance of land subsidence at the drilled areas?
I guess there's a minimal chance of that. We've done all these projects with geotech reports and in conformance with best geotechnical engineering practices, and so there are general soil conditions out there for subsidence, but the type of construction that we are doing is not prone to land subsidence.
If anyone wants to see a different slide or one of the slides again or one of the videos, you can put that in your chat. We're happy to go back. So there's no other questions at this time, but let's give it a few minutes in case someone thinks about it or is just now logging on and said, wait, I forgot. Can you say it all again?
And if you think of another question after this while you're at home or talking to someone else, again, we are all available to answer any of your questions at any point, and we welcome them. So please reach out to us through one of those mechanisms. We will be sending a recording of this out to everybody along with how to contact us if you have questions or you lost that flyer and you wanted to know what the phone number was again. So we're here to help you through this process. Okay. I think that is it for us today. But like I said, we're going to be sending out a email with all of this information, contact, as well as a recording. So please share it with your neighbors or anyone who might have questions and wasn't able to attend. We'd be happy to answer their questions as well. So I hope everybody has a wonderful night, and we will talk to you out in the field potentially later in this operation. Thank you.